In this video from the Purple Loosestrife Biocontrol training series, we'll look at recognizing purple loosestrife sites in winter. Although finding the plants in late July through mid-September is easiest because of their size and bright flowers, once you've gotten to know the plants, you can find them at almost any time of year, including winter. Let's start out on a walk in a wetland with Chris Hammerla from Golden Sands RC&D in February 2022.
Hello, it is February 19th and we're out doing some purple loosestrife recon. Well, not really. I just decided to take a walk because it's finally not, minus 15 or 20. Instead, it's just a beautiful 20 degrees today. Anyway, point being is even in the winter, this is a great time that you can be looking for purple loosestrife. So if we look across the marsh here, or right in front of us, I should say, it's really easy to see the seed heads from old loosestrife last year's, and right here and this dark stuff here and the dark stuff there and there. So now that you know what you're looking at, you can see some standing up right in the middle of your screen right now, and some right in there, and further out, again in the middle of the screen. So it's pretty easy to tell what you're looking for. There's a pretty big clump right in the middle of the screen right now. It's pretty easy to look out across the marsh and see where your plants are. Back in the distance there, right in the middle of the screen. So, purple loosestrife. You can start doing recon whenever you want.
The striking stature of purple loosestrife is a benefit for us when we're looking in winter. The plant on the right most likely bloomed the previous summer. This is apparent because there are still large seed pods clinging to the stalks and the fact that the plant is quite dark on the landscape. By the following year, many of the seed pods will be gone and the plant will have started to bleach out from the sun and continued drying. Since the plant's out in a very open area, we don't see any leaves. They've probably blown off after drying out. But the plant on the right was in a more protected location, and leaves still cling to the branches. They are opposite each other on the stems, and each pair is turned 180 degrees from the ones below and above them, helping us to know that this is purple loosestrife. We can also tell that the beetles were active here by the holes chewed in the leaves. The person who took this photo was very excited to see that the holes were there because they were looking for sites for possible starter beetle collection in spring. Here are two more views of purple loosestrife in winter. Even though there are other dark plants in the photo on the left, the spires from purple loosestrife flowering still stand. On the right, we see a plant that's been losing its seed pods, or perhaps this plant has had some wear and tear, or reduced flowering due to the beetle activity. If we were to look closely at the leaves, we might find verification of beetles. Speaking of verification, if you're looking at unreported sites, please do an incident or early detection monitoring report and get the photos to your DNR Regional AS Coordinator. You can upload all of that to SWMS if you're a user of the database. If not, an email will do. If you aren't sure how to find the monitoring reports, you can give them the photos and specific location, such as a GPS point or a road crossing, and give them an idea of how big the patch is and an estimate of the number of plants. You can also use the beetle presence and activity report found on the Biocontrol website and send it to the statewide Biocontrol coordinator, or add that data to the SWMS database if you're a SWMS user. Here is another close look at the dried out flowering stems. By the way, overall, the plant stems may or may not have the edges that you can feel so easily on the plants in summer. As the plants age, they may feel almost rounded, though somewhat rough. That's because they lignify or become more woody over time. On the left here, we have a patch in very early spring. Those stems are still dark and standing, while the tussock grasses are beginning to green up. If this was a patch under good control, you may see plants, but they could be 3 to 4 feet or shorter overall. You also might notice that instead of tall spires, the plants have more of a candelabra shape with many shorter arched branches of old flowers. On the right, we have some stems of purple loosestrife and some look-alikes. Can you tell the difference? The answers are on the next slide. The first 4 stems here are purple loosestrife. The first 2 have completely lost their seed pods and either were very weak flowering in the first place or are very old stems. The middle plant is a spirea species. The one to the right is swamp loosestrife, and the last one on the right is marsh dock. All 3 of the lookalikes are native plants to Wisconsin. Grab a field guide or do a Google search and get to know them in all their summer glory. You can find more lookalikes in the Purple Loosestrife ID Guide available on the Biocontrol website and from many in-person resources such as DNR and Extension offices, your county AIS coordinator, or master naturalist. You can also order them from DNR AIS info at wisconsin.gov. Since one video isn't likely to answer all of your questions, you can send questions to DNR AIS info at wisconsin.gov or call 608-266-0061. If you're in a county with an AIS coordinator, they are very likely to be able to answer your questions and even help you get started. Visit the DNR website and search for AIS contacts to find the page that will give you all of their contact information. The program also has its own webpage on the DNR site, Purple Loosestrife Biocontrol and You. There you can find a full guide to the program as well as a mini guide, along with the Purple Loosestrife fact sheet for ID and the application and reporting data sheets that you will need to participate. This and additional videos will be posted on the UW-Madison Division of Extension YouTube page. Last, I'd like to thank everyone who contributed to this video. Photos, videos, and graphics were provided by all of these folks over several years, and their help, not just with this production, but with their efforts to manage purple loosestrife in Wisconsin, are appreciated more than you can know. Thank you.